Hey guys, I thought it would be fun to do a quick video on some of the most popular POTA and SOTA rigs and how much they weigh just out of the box. It's obviously not going to be entirely apples to apples here. I'm going to do some explanations on kind of where the KH1 fits in. This is the Elecraft KH1. We do have the QRP Labs QMX, the brand new to the market CFT1 by Cam4 CFT, and the Mountain Topper MTR4B. But I wanted to quickly highlight that it may seem pretty insignificant, the weight differences between some of these, but in POTA and more specifically SOTA, ounces matter. When you're building out a kit, I think of Evan K2EJT. He just did a really cool video on his SOTA loadout. And what blew my mind, I swear he had north of 100 unique items in that pack, all of them with their own purpose. Every single item he has in his kit, there was a reason to it. And I have to imagine weight was a massive consideration as he built that out, because by the time he got done, the bag came in like 15 pounds on the dot, which is pretty incredible. So, I brought out this little bush plane. This is a Scrappy. This is built by Mike Patey, the actual plane. This is obviously a little replica that he sells. And he is a big-time experimental aircraft builder. So he builds some of the most incredible aircraft in the world, just kind of for his personal use. There's a lot of innovation. And a lot of the aircraft, not so much this guy, but a lot of the aircraft that's built in experimental aviation, specifically bush planes, they're built to compete in STOL competitions. So STOL stands for short takeoff and landing. And those guys are doing everything they can to make their aircraft as light as possible so it can take off as quickly as possible and land as short as possible. And you can obviously imagine why that's important when you're in the backcountry in an airplane, when you're accessing remote airstrips and so on. Or frankly, a lot of those guys are landing off airstrips. So they have a saying in experimental aviation, which is, if you worry about the ounces, the pounds take care of themselves. And if that's applicable to aircraft north of 1,000 pounds, it's definitely applicable to our SOTA and or POTA loadouts. And weight is extremely important, specifically when hiking a 12,000 foot mountain. My first SOTA, I packed way too heavy and I paid the price. So I think it's a fun topic to look at, lightweight operations and what that may look like. So with that, we're going to actually just turn on the weight scale here and just show you guys for reference. We're going to be looking at ounces. But MTR4B, 7.97 ounces. The CFT1, 7.69. These are going to be all extremely close, I can tell. And 7.65 QMX is going to come in the lightest. But I want to quickly highlight something with the KH1 and why I love the KH1. The difference between this rig here and the other rigs on the table is this one is 100% ready to go as is. With these other three rigs, I need the following. I am going to need a paddle, a cable for the paddle, a speaker or headphones, and a cable if I use a speaker. I am going to need an antenna, and I am going to need a power supply. Now, the asterisk on that is with these three rigs, I will also need, depending on if I'm not using a resonant antenna, I'm going to need a tuner. Every single one of those extras is already included on the KH1. So let's just weigh the KH1 as is. This has the counterpoise, the whip, the paddle, and the headphones attached. And we are at 14.29 ounces, all in as that package. Just for fun, I have like a 9-volt Bioenno, and I have a Talent Cell, 12-volt, 3000, or 3 amp, I should say. This is the lighter battery from the Bioenno. This is an extremely lightweight battery. And we're just going to look at a power supply for these rigs. This power supply will work on all of these rigs, except my QMX, because I technically wired this in 9-volt. But if you have a QMX and it's 12-volt, this battery would work for it. So let's weigh this guy. 15.56. 15.63. 15.91. So that is just the battery all three of these rigs are now heavier to my pack than the KH1. Now, that's just the battery. They still need a paddle, they still need headphones, and they still need an antenna. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of these rigs. I love these rigs. I operate in the field with them frequently. So yeah, just wanted to do the quick weight comparison between all the rigs. They're all exceptional. They're all extremely lightweight. They'll work for any sort of field kit, but fun to see how they compare because they're such popular rigs. I don't know if I've seen a weight comparison done like this before. Again, what the KH1 does as far as packing it all into one kit with the built-in ATU, the fact that it has an ATU in there and the battery lasts forever, by the way. Really, really phenomenal value. A lot of people say this rig is overpriced. You know, and I think when you compare it to these guys, it's a lot more money, but they do have somewhat of a monopoly on this sort of kit. I don't see any other rig on the market that's even close to what this does as far as how it compacts everything into one and how lightweight it is. And geez, if it's so overpriced and the margin is so ridiculous, why wouldn't any of the major competitors in the market go after this guy? Why, if it's so simple to do, why not go build it, sell it for $700 and take these guys out of business? I think my personal opinion is that Elecraft KH1 is fairly priced. You can't even buy one of these; you have to wait. That's just my opinion, though. I understand that the components and things that they do to build this, maybe it's the same distribution network in China to get some of the PCB boards and the components, but the results speak for themselves. This is a very unique, exceptional kit build out, and until someone comes and competes with them, I think they're probably going to keep charging what they charge for it. So anyway, fun to look at the weights. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You might think, geez, that really doesn't matter, dude. We're talking about a few ounces. But if I'm scaling a 12,000 foot mount, let's say I'm backpacking. Let's say I have a tent, I have a sleeping bag, you know, all this water, food, and I've got it. I'm really focusing on ounces. It's going to be hard not to prioritize this guy. Now, any of these kits will work, but it is remarkable what I can pack into this little kit. And for SOTA and POTA, I think it does matter in certain circumstances. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. See you next time, 73.
Can we get serious now? Captain?